Today we're messing around with some Ujam plugins. I find they're very fun to use, they sound great, and so I've been doing a lot of testing. And today's little groove goes like this, and then after we listen to some of it, I'll break it down and kind of show how I put this together. It's a very simple little demo with just 3, 4, 5 parts to it. So let's have a listen. So kind of a nice dreamy piano with some Celeste and some nice drum groove there and a nice bass groove. So let's take a look at what we got working. So the first thing we have is this Phat little drum groove playing, and to keep it interesting and changing little phrases or patterns, I've got that hooked up to RTS where it simply triggers different patterns in a very slow manner, just to keep things from getting stale and monotonous. So you can just see over here as the keys trigger, as RTS just sends it some notes to keep things going. So that keeps it interesting as a drum beat. Next we're going to add in the bass. So it's Ujam Mellow Bass version 1. Apparently there's version 2 out, but this sounds great. So we've got this here, and we're going to turn it on. So it's been unmuted. And it's going to be driven by Ujam bass styles that I have up in RTS. So it's going to again play the chords of the RTS system, but it's also going to trigger some style notes in here. So let's listen. Alright, let's add a few other things. Alright, next we're going to add in some dreamy piano to kind of give it that kind of distance and reverb effect. So we've got Omnisphere to do that, and it has a lot of patches that give you that kind of distant, eerie piano. So let's listen. So that'll work nicely. And there's a great feature in Omnisphere because there's so many different patches. When you find one you like, you can do a sound match, and that will give you all the types that you like of that particular one that you found. So I was able to get all kinds of really kind of eerie, reverby pianos, and that's just a great feature. And if you do have Omnisphere, make sure to use the sound match. So now we've got Omnisphere in here with some piano, and it is driven by the RTS using some super wide chords from its chord progression, but also some high accents. So you see these notes here, which will be just tripping the odd piano tone while the chords are sustained through. Let's listen to that. Alright, let's add something else. So we've got a very slow kind of drum groove going. So to add a little bit of percussion in between some of those beats, we've got something from Ujam called the Groovemate 1, and it's a really nice little percussion module that just extends whatever drum plug-in you're using and fills in some interesting little percussion here and there. So let's turn it on so we can hear it. And it has a bunch of different presets in here, and I've just gone with kind of any one here just to fill in the odd little percussion. But we're also going to add in some of the Celeste, and the Celeste is going to be driven by a piano pattern that is simply a rhythmic little up, down. And that's to go with the main piano. So this is going to add some very high notes in a little rhythmic pattern. And I should say the Groovemate is also being driven by RTS in the fact that it's just going to change the odd pattern here and there to keep things interesting. So let's give that all a listen to. Hope you enjoyed this little video. We'll see you on the next one.